guys, welcome back to my channel, Michi Makes Up. Today we finally get to play with Pat McGrath's Mothership 7. Yes, Mothership 7 Divine Rose palette. It's been a long time. I've waited for this since it came out last fall and then immediately sold out everywhere. I think quantities were limited to begin with because it was initially intended only for maybe Asian and European customers, and then Selfridges, this online retailer based in the UK, had it, but it was only available on the app for a certain amount of time, and that all sold out. And then it became available on Pat McGrath's website for a limited time, and that was sold out within maybe a few hours since it was launched. So ever since it's been sold out, extremely difficult to get, there's been a huge demand for it to come back. And so finally, she decided to restock it, make it available for Valentine's Day. And then I immediately ordered it right as it became available. That also sold out within 24 hours or so from what I could tell, but it is coming back in March. I'm going to include a link in the description so that you can go directly to the page and get on the wait list. For those who were on the wait list and you did get it this time around, it did come with a 10% off code. So I have a feeling they're going to do that again in March. So be sure to be, if you want this, be sure to get on the wait list. So let's talk about the packaging. Palette comes in this carton that we are all used to seeing. The back of it is the ingredients, how much product you get. And for comparison, I actually have with me Midnight Sun. Graphics a little different. So Midnight Sun and Bronze Seduction both had kind of the same image, graphical image in different colors. But this is totally different. This is totally different. Usually the packaging, or actually for all the packaging, it does reflect the theme, the color story of the palette itself. So Divine Rose, obviously the pink roses here, and the shades all have that kind of mauvey pink purpley theme to it. And the gold eyeshadow here is really indicative of the gold eyeshadow in the palette itself. So opening the outer package opens into the palette, and palette itself is this lacquered box. And once you open it up, you have the mirror, the shadows, and they are gorgeous. I mean, I don't know where to begin. If you're a fan of purple eyeshadows or mauvey eyeshadows, you cannot go wrong with this. There are 4 special shades here, but I think the one that stands out the most is this VR Rose Venus. Let's just swatch it. Has like a pink gold reflex to it, and I'm gonna put it on my wrist. And that is what I have on my eye as well, right on the upper lash line here. And it's just so complementary to all the other colors. So for today's look, let's start with those. For today's look, I'm using Valoria, which is a matte purple or a taupey color. And then I have Rose Dusk, which is a metallic shadow. And then I have this color here, Lovelace, another metallic shadow, and that has kind of like a purpley gray tone to it. And then I use Skinshow Nude for the inner corner of my eyes. We're gonna switch over to the other arm here. And for the shade topper that you see on the center of my eyelid here, this gold color is going to be Refined Gold 002. The lighting is so bright you can't really see it well here, but let's swatch it. It's got that really, beautiful Pat McGrath reflective quality to this kind of foil sparkly shade. And while it's gold, it's very soft. It's just a very soft shade topper that has a gold tone to it. And that's how I think you can achieve a look where it's very glamorous and it has good impact, but it doesn't, amp up your look so much, at least not with 1 or 2 layers of this color. It just amps it so much that you look like you're going clubbing or something. So I really appreciate the variety, or I really appreciate how the shade is different from other gold shades, from her eyeshadows or even just from other brands. I think everything fits really well within the color story of just soft, beautiful, but still has impact and is still interesting. With the rest of the color story of the palette, if you set the 4 special shades aside and just look at the 6 here, you've got everything you need in these 6 shades to create complete looks, different looks that are interesting and have depth to them. So if if you're thinking of, well, I don't know if I'm going to use these special shades here because they're really too blingy and I might use it once or twice a year. Well, think about these 6 here. You can use them all year round if you like mopey, purpley tones. This really is the palette for you. And if you ever wanted to do something extra, do something sparkly and shiny, well then perfect. You have these 4 other shades here you can use. There are some repeat shadows, some repeat colors on this palette. The first one that I notice is this Astral Solstice. So it's that very sparkly shade topper. This color I actually like to use, it's this top one here. But this shade I like to use in or on the inner corner of my eyes, and you can use it as a shade topper too. The more layers you add on, obviously the more sparkly your look becomes. I also believe that Extreme Mahogany here is a repeat as well. And then I think there is one other one here that I have to look into, but I'll share all that information below. The Skinshow Nude, I find, now this is my 3rd Pat McGrath palette, there are Skinshow colors or shades of Skinshow on almost all of the kind of big palettes. So Skinshow Nude I don't have, but on the other palettes that I have, like Midnight Sun and Bronze Seduction, there's Skinshow Moon Glow and Skinshow Divine Glow. They all take on a slightly different shade that is very, or undertone I should say. They all have a different undertone that complements the overall story. So I think that's very thoughtful actually, because you can always use a highlight to on your brow bone or on the inner corner of your eyes. So it's always good to have a highlight to use if you wanted to. Obviously highlights can also be used to create a look in itself. So having one that complements the rest of the colors, the color story, that's always a very thoughtful touch to have. And I'm going to show you in a sec here a comparison of this Skinshow Nude color against the other 2 Skinshows that I have. Swatch the 3 Skinshow shades onto my wrist. Let's take a look here. Lighting makes it hard to see all the differences. So this top one here is from Divine Rose and this is Skinshow Nude. It definitely has some very, very slight either pink or purpley reflex to it. It does look very similar actually to Bronze Seduction's Skinshow Divine Glow. But when I look at it like this in person, Skinshow Divine Glow from Bronze Seduction is definitely warmer than Skinshow Nude from Divine Rose. And while they look similar, there is a slight difference that you can spot with your eye. And then the center Skinshow shade here is from Midnight Sun, and this is Skinshow Moonglow. Definitely has pink or a red undertone to it. I do think each of these does complement the story of the palette, and that's pretty impressive. I think if I, when I only had 2 of the 3 that I have now of the Pat McGrath palettes, I definitely didn't take note of this, but now that I have a couple of Skinshow colors, I'm like, I wonder why they made that decision, or I wonder why they put this one in there. Well, it's because it goes better with the rest of the shades. So we're gonna move on to the tutorial. I will see you guys afterwards. We're gonna start with putting Rose Dusk all over the lid with a small shader brush. And I'm going to cover the area all the way up to the crease, building from the bottom up. Next, I'm going to take Valeria using a crease brush to put it all over the crease and to transition Rose Dusk. And I'm going to wing this color out a bit here. Since I'm going to wear this look to dinner tonight, we can add some oomph to it. Repeat on the other side. Then I'll take a fluffy crease brush to blend out the color some more and to make it smooth and seamless. Now with the packing brush, I'm going to dip it into Lovelace to add more dimensions to the outer corner of my eyes, into the V. I haven't tried this look before. We're just kind of going with the flow here and choosing color as they most stand out to me. So I think because we're adding some more oomph to the look, I'm going to bring Lovelace further out into the corner of my eyes than I normally do. And then I'm going to take this small, dense shader brush, dip it into VR Rose Venus, and then put it along my upper lash line. And then I'm going to use kind of this bouncing motion because it's a special shade that'll help apply the color better. Now, if this looks like it's not going to work that well, I'm going to just use my pinky. But I really want this along my upper lash line. And because of how much color I'm putting on the brush, I'm definitely going to have fallout. We'll just have to clean that up before we put on foundation and concealer. Okay, and then with my pinky, I'm going to dip it into Refined Gold 002, put it right here into the center of my eye, and then build it up towards the lid. I'm not trying to cover up the Dust Rose, or what is it called? Rose Dust. I'm not trying to use it to cover up rose dust completely, but I want this area to be more reflective. So that this would be one of the first things you see when you look directly at me. Repeat on the other side. Build it upwards. It's not going to be completely and totally even on both sides whenever you do this, but as long as it's close enough, the look is going to turn out good. I'm going to clean up under my eyes, put some foundation on, and come back for the last part. We're going to take this small shader brush, dab it into Rose Dusk, and I'm going to put this under my eyes. Two-thirds of the way. And I'll do the same on the other side. Next, I'll take this fluffy crease brush, dab it into Velouria, and I'm going to blend the color into the lower lash line. And I'm going to take it all the way into the outer corners of the eye to connect with the shadow above it. And with a different shader brush, I'm going to dab it into Iridescent Pink 003. And I'm going to place that on my brow bone. And then I'm going to take this small pointed brush, dab it into Skinshow Nude. I'm going to add it to the inner corner of my eyes just to give it some highlight to brighten it up. And for tonight, I want a more dramatic look, so taking that same crease brush we've been using, I'm going to dab it again into Velouria, really get rid of the excess here, and I'm going to add it right near the bridge of my nose. And then I'm going to repeat on the other side. I tried to add liquid black eyeliner as the last part of this tutorial, but it was just too difficult to see with the camera and the lighting right behind it. So I did that all off camera, and the whole idea is to go light hand with it. I did not, add too much black or wing it out a lot. I just really wanted to enhance, the fullness of my upper lash line, and then that was it. Because I still wanted the focus of the look to be on the mauvey, purpley, kind of soft smoke out that we did here, and obviously with the gold sparkly to be the main focal points. So here is the final look. So I wanted to put my closing thoughts here on the palette. I really did enjoy creating today's look. It was unplanned. I didn't test this out beforehand and then put it. I just looked at the shadows and thought what might go together. And because I am no expert at this, I find that it was, all the shades were easy to work with, and the quality of the shades are what we've become used to from Pat McGrath. So all in all, good quality there. If this is your first Pat McGrath palette that you've ordered, or you think you'll be getting it once it comes back in stock in March, I don't think you're gonna regret it. If you like that, if you like those shades, you're gonna get exactly that. And then I think when you experiment and play with the different shadows, add different toppers to it, you're gonna get some pretty beautiful, amazing results, and you'll be pleasantly surprised, as I have been. One thing I do want to add on here is I know a lot of people in recent months have had trouble getting their order or just getting their order smoothly when they order online from the website. I've ordered from their website a couple of times. I never had any issues, so I guess I'm one of the lucky ones. But I will say this time when the package for Divine Rose came in, the box, the carton where the palette sits in, it did get dinged on the side. And that really just comes from how, you know, the box was too big and there wasn't enough stuffing in there to make sure that as it got tossed around in transit, that, you know, it wasn't going to hit anything. So I think that's where it got damaged. Could have got damaged at the warehouse before it got packed too. So that was probably the only part that I wasn't, you know, so happy about. But otherwise, they fulfilled the order pretty quickly and arrived here pretty quickly without incident. So that's something to keep in mind too when you're ordering from them. Just be sure that you have your order confirmation, and within the days they specify that you will receive, you know, you will receive a notification your order's been sent out, that you just keep an eye on it. If it goes past a certain time, you definitely want to reach out to customer support. Well, I hope you found this video helpful, delightful, fun for you to watch. I'm definitely down for creating more looks with this palette here. I first teased about it during my February haul, which you can find here up above. I will see you guys next time. Like, subscribe, ring the bell. I look forward to talking to you soon.